Hey guys, I'm back. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be ranking all 5 Ghostbusters movies from worst to best. We have a new Ghostbusters movie with the release of Frozen Empire, so in today's video I'm going to be ranking all 5 of them. Remember that everything in this video is just my opinion, and I'll be talking about all 5 of these movies in spoiler-free fashion, so if you're worried about that kind of stuff, don't be worried. If you have seen these movies, feel free to let me know your ranking of them in the comments below, and without further ado, let's begin with this ranking video. In last place is Ghostbusters 2016. I used to hate on this movie as a joke just because I'm a massive Ghostbusters fan. However, after my most recent rewatch, it's not a joke anymore. Okay, look, I don't hate this movie, but with this film, it's just, you know, it's just not very good. Something about this movie just feels empty. Like, the cast is made up of good actors, the energy is there, but I don't know, it's just not put together well. In terms of the Ghostbusters themselves, the actresses are good actresses, but the characters are poorly written because it feels like all of the characters are trying to be the comic relief character, and it feels like they're all fighting to see who can be the goofiest one. As a result, there's no dynamic in the group. The film is lazily written, the script is poor, and I don't know, it's just not very well made. With this film, I don't know, it's just kind of weird for me. Like maybe it's because of the fact that it kind of feels like it's trying too hard to be fun and silly, and it feels like it's like trying a bit too hard to do that, and as a result it doesn't entertain me as much as I feel like it should, as much as I want it to. And to be honest, I just can't enjoy it for some reason. It's not a very well made film, and I know like the visuals are pretty decent, you know, because of the fact that it's like, you know, it's using CGI and stuff. The visuals are fine, and I don't know, like some of it is kind of watchable, but I don't really know what it is with this film. It's not very enjoyable, and it's just depressingly average at best. And number 4 is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, this is a movie that I really like the premise for, and I like the fact that it goes in something of a different direction for the franchise. All of the previous Ghostbusters movies after the original up to this point were criticized for feeling like a rehash of the original in some way, and I like how this is just the Ghostbusters going on an adventure set in New York City, and it has its own original story. Obviously, this is inspired by the real Ghostbusters, which I appreciate. I also think there are some impressive visual effects here as well, but this movie just has, I think, too many ideas for its own good. It's overstuffed with characters and plot lines to the point where it's too messy to be entertaining for a lot of it. Not only are the first 2 acts pretty dull, but the overabundance of characters and plot lines and ideas makes knowing who and what to focus on pretty difficult at times, and as a result, the movie is just not fun. It feels like it needed a better script and better editing to fit everything into a more coherent film. At number 3, Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 2 is a film that has always had a lot of negativity surrounding it from people who view it as nothing more than a lazy rehash of the original, but at the same time it's praised by a lot of people nowadays who think it is a fairly strong sequel, especially considering what came after it in this franchise. When watching it, it's kind of easy to see why the film has gotten that mixed reception, and it's kind of easy to see both sides of the argument. On the plus side, the cast makes the film really watchable, and they still have the chemistry that they had in the original film, and the group is still fun to watch. However, there really is no denying that the film lacks what made the first one so loved. The originality, the energy, the pretty much non-stop fun is missing here. The film is very structurally similar to the original, which results in it feeling a bit too familiar and it being less effective, and there are too many moments of exposition in my opinion which can be rough. But at the end of the day, especially because of the cast and the fact that it feels like there was at least a bit of effort put into making this another entertaining Ghostbusters film, I think it's fine. It's a perfectly fine, decently entertaining watch, but is nowhere near the level of genius that the original film is on. At number 2 is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters Afterlife is obviously a film for the fans. It's packed with references to the original, fan service, nostalgia stuff, all of that, and with all that in mind, it's easy to see why this film is divisive and why people who aren't Ghostbusters fans would just find that stuff annoying and obnoxious. But people like me who are Ghostbusters fans, I don't view that stuff as nostalgia bait, I view it as a love letter. I genuinely think there's so much care put into this film and making sure it just satisfies the fans, and considering the fact that it's a film for the fans, I think it does its job pretty well. I think it's a pretty successful movie. On top of that, the new characters are likable. I like the new story and setting. The way that the fan service is integrated into the story and the way it's utilized, I think is really effective. I'm not going to pretend the fan service doesn't get at least a little bit excessive, and, you know, like it's a bit ridiculous, and, you know, some of the film's a bit cheesy, yeah, but like, I like it. I think it's heartfelt, you know. I don't mind all that stuff, and, you know, it's just a really fun film in my opinion, especially for people like me. Maybe the pacing can be a bit off in the film, but overall, I just think it's a really heartfelt film. It's a great love letter, and it's how to do fan service right. At number 1 is, of course, Ghostbusters. The best way I can describe this movie is gold. Everything about it is just gold. There really is no better way to put it. It takes this premise that should not work as well as it does, about these men starting a ghostbusting business, and it creates one of the most relentlessly fun movies of all time out of it. The movie seems to be kind of aware of the like sort of ridiculousness of its premise, and it just really goes for it. It is such an entertainingly irreverent movie. And of course, this movie would not work as well as it does without the cast. The cast is amazing. They all give such great comedic performances. The group has so much chemistry. The group is endlessly fun to watch. And because all the characters are so distinct, they have such a great dynamic and they bounce off of each other so well. So much of this movie is just genius. From the comedy to what they do with the premise and what they do with the characters. All of it just works so unnecessarily well. It is a masterful blend of spooks, laughs, and pure fun. It is so fun, so unbelievably entertaining. It's a classic. It's amazing. Without competition, it's the best movie in the franchise. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this ranking video. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. Once again, if you have seen these movies, feel free to let me know your ranking of them in the comments below. Feel free to let me know what you think of them. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.